Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I think I heard that. It sounds like episode 7. 7 is the button up episode. We are so close to having this car pretty done-ish, right? There are going to be small items that we'll be taking care of as we get a little bit down the road. But this is going to make the car run and drive, right? Super exciting. Button up items. They're on the screen, right? You can kind of see what we got going on, right? Small things, adding oil, adding coolant, adding radiator lines, tightening the frame horns, getting all the small stuff put together. That's the point of this episode. If you're lucky, and I can get through these quickly without having any plot developing moments, if you will, this weekend is our dyno day. We're going to see how this thing makes horsepower, which is so exciting, right? We're going to a hub dyno to get ourselves classed so that we can race TT this season, or sorry, not TT, but time attack. I think that will work for TT. But either way, we're going to put this thing on the dyno. It's going to be great. Now, things that we're not concerning ourselves with is final dial-in of the alignment. We'll handle that down the road. Same with trying to get the ride height set down the road. I need to make the car run and drive by Saturday so that we can run on the dyno. That's the goal. So I'm going to tear into it. The first things first is getting the brake pads into the big Brembo brakes. If you didn't see that episode, it was the last one. You can check it out in the channel. That's episode 6. But we got blue stuffs to install. And then from there, glorious, glorious bolt together. Here we go. Man, those things are sexy. We cleaned up the hardware. Blue stuffs are in, both sides. You'll have to take my word for it. But those are done. But we have hit our first trouble here. So, as you guys will remember, we have the big wheelie jilly bobs, right, that were mounted, I think, in episode 5. Or anyway, they're great. This is a 9-inch wheel. It really gets the tire mounted super square. Ton of support for that sidewall. The problem being that the offset is wrong, unfortunately. So I bought these. They were a ripping deal. They're 18 by 9 by or plus 20s. The problem is that I didn't know how to do offset math. And so my offset math was going, oh, if it's plus 20 and I need plus 40, I can add a spacer. Well, it turns out I was completely behind because this one sticks way out, really, really far out. So if you look down the line of the car and that tire was on the front there, it would be out like a Honda boy. So that ain't going to work. The good news is that the first event that we're planning on going to is Chuckwalla. Chuckwalla is in roughly a month. What we do have is the street tires, ye old street tires. These I have test fit, and they do fit. They will need a spacer, but they will clear the brakes. So that means that the street wheels are going to stay. In absolutely, completely unrelated news, if anyone would like some 18-inch really, really nice Pretorias, hit me up. I know a guy who might be selling them because they may or may not fit his brand new brake kit. Thanks, Aston. Man, I tell you what, this assembly stuff so far, and I'm trying not to jinx myself, going a lot faster than I remember it. We got the horns tightened up. We got the headlights back in. We're going to throw some aluminum tape to seal the new radiator and the intercooler, I think. So we'll tighten that up, and yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, it's a little ugly, but it does cure the gap that we have between our fan and our radiator. It should make a decent difference there. So next thing to work on is we're going to see about tidying up this windshield washer wiring harness. We're not going to use it anymore. We've deleted the tank, so we'll tie this up so that we don't have to delete any wiring, and we'll go from there. We got that tidied up, and we also got the bumper cover mocked back on. So I'd like to say that this was the first time that I did this, but in fact it would be like the 4th or 5th because I reinstalled it and then realized that you do have to have horns on most motor vehicles. So came back off. We put the horns back on it. There you go. Sorry, there's some light for you. But yeah, horns are back on. You got the wiring harness put back together. Had to figure out and try to remember where the temperature sensor goes. If you're curious, it goes right there. I definitely lost it. Had to watch a couple of YouTube videos to get that relocated. But it's got the screws in it to put the bumper cover back on. But there are many, many, many more that have to go in to secure all the plastics and all the other fun stuff. But looking at this, and the first time in a long time, this looks like a car again, which is just exciting, to be honest with you. Now, I should put all those screws in. I don't really feel like it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start doing some mechanical stuff that's fun. Like I want to start putting the coolant lines back on, and I want to fill the car with oil and see how far we get along tonight. But don't want to make it too late. So I'm going to show you guys the progress I make up there, and that'll be that. Alrighty, easy one off the list. We're back and filled with Euro 540. We're going to let it drain on in. We'll end up cycling it and adding a quart later, but now we know we can start the car, at least from an oil side, assuming that we get all the coolant pipes and everything put back on. I think that's what I'm going to try to tackle now. And on to coolant. So we got an entire gallon of our special coolant into the reservoir, and then we've also added almost a full gallon of distilled water. I do have a word for the wise. If you are filling, right, you can pop this little hose off right here, and it'll allow the radiator to get completely full before it starts flowing up into the accessory cooling items. That would be like your turbo, and then the areas backing up and over here. Now, another word to the wise, if you were thinking that you can speed up the burble process by sucking on this hose, you probably can, but I also, and completely unrelated to me, will tell you that G13 tastes awful. So, just keep that in mind. Like I said, not me personally. I would never suck on that hose and then taste a bunch of G13. But anyway, a way to do that. So anyway, we've got enough coolant in the car to start it now. So here's all the hardware that we get to install tomorrow for the bumper cover. Like I said, I can look forward to that all day. But tomorrow is going to be tune day, and it's going to be run the damn car day, which is super exciting. So run the damn car, put some tires and wheels on it, start working on getting it onto its own weight so we can finish doing some torque values for both the rear suspension and the front suspension. And then from there, the car is going to be shakedown time, right? We got to make sure that everything is good to go before the dyno this weekend. So that puts us wrapping up a little bit early. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, and that means Saturday is in a couple of days here. So that means that if everything is good to go tomorrow, that we should have a chance to really hammer everything out. So God forbid something crazy happen, we should make the dyno, Lord willing. So I'm just hoping everything. Sorry, I ran out of storage. Anyway, I just hope everything goes smoothly. That's all I really care about. I just want hopefully this hammer out period to go nice. Of course, if it doesn't go nice, it'll make good content. But at this point, man, I feel like this car has put up plenty of trials and tribulations. It hasn't been too bad of a build. I mean, you guys have hopefully been along the ride for the whole thing. But man, I'd really like to have a smooth finish. So with that being said, I'm going to call it a night, and then we'll check in with Future Tanner tomorrow. Welcome back. Okay, guess what I skipped was pretty much putting the rest of those bumper cover bolts on because they're super boring. So that's done. Now we get to the meat and potatoes, which in this case is the engine running. So I think I've got everything buttoned up here. Oil filter's in. It's been topped off. It's got an amount of coolant that will not allow it to blow up. It has absolutely no brake fluid in it because after we get it running, we need to make sure that we bleed the brakes. That'll be a fun one. And it hasn't seen electricity in a long time, right? You guys remember from all the horsepower episodes, there was a lot of wiring bits that went into the ECU, brand new pins and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to start plugging in the battery and see how it goes, and hopefully film a well, I'll tell you what, first and foremost, I'll show you the tune, flashing that whole thing off the cob, and then from there we will see if this thing will crank and start. So before we get started, obviously it primes all the systems and stuff before we start it. So I'm just adding some of our RBF 600 Motul brake fluid into our reservoir because we pretty much drained all of it in the brake swap. So this will be a good place to start when we get our bleed done. But before we get the tune and kind of get the car ready to start, I'm just making sure this is all ready to go.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
So tuning is happening, and this is the scary part for me. It's been a while since I've tuned a car, and it throws every single light on the dash, and everything is broken and trying to explode and all the other fun stuff. So now we play the waiting game. We got the battery charger plugged in just in case something goes wonky, but we're crossing our fingers and hoping everything goes well. Halfway there. Okay, it's the moment of truth. So it has been approximately 3 months since this car has run and driven. Well, the drive part comes later, but now is the part to see if it starts with brand new multi-port fuel injection, brand new downpipe, brand new brushless fuel pump, and everything else in between. So the girlfriend's going to do the honors, and we're going to go ahead and start it up. All right, see if she cranks up. Start on the first crank. I could be unhappier. What we're hearing right here is it's trying to prime the cooling system. See, so so that was the water pump trying to do its thing. Okay, time to do a leak check. Big thumbs up! Leak check is going fabulously. We have no leaks in the MPI system. We're having no issues with cooling. Everything seems to be flowing here. We noticed that it took a little bit longer to get the car up to temp, which makes sense because we got this giant brand new CSF radiator in there. So far so good. Everything is pretty bueno. Like I said, this radiator is ice cold. There's literally nothing warm, which like I said, it's supposed to make sense because you got nothing going on. The only thing that's really concerning right now is that we got no fan running, and maybe that's just the efficiency of this radiator, that it doesn't need to run the fan whenever the car isn't moving. But so far so good. Yeah, we're happy out of the back. We're happy here at the front. Nothing is leaking. So what we'll do now is start working on brake bleed, but that won't be tonight. We'll save that for tomorrow when we get the car back onto the ground, and we'll go for some test drives and see how it goes. Crazy productive evening. Everything has gone fairly smoothly. The only thing I've changed is I got the car on jack stand, so it's under its own weight. Everything has now been torqued on the front suspension, the rear suspension. I have actually installed the intake. So the intake is on. That's all finished up. We added our last quart of oil so that everything is topped up. Things are looking really good. I'm excited to get some tires and wheels on it tomorrow. Figure out what kind of spacers it's going to take to get the street wheels going. But so let's just summarize. Car runs. We hope it will drive. The tow is in check. Camber and everything looks to be where it is. We'll adjust that later. Topped off. Tightened up. Man, getting close to the end. It's really exciting. So anyway, we're going to attack this thing tomorrow, bleed the brakes, and then get it on 4 tires and drive it. See how it goes. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey guys, Tanner here. Today, drinking and driving. But actually, bleeding the brakes.
Okay, he's not wrong. We're bleeding brakes. He's drinking, I'm not drinking. It's almost the end of dry January, and I'm looking really forward to it.
He's drinking!
Don't let him lie to you. Don't let him lie to you. So we're going to bleed the brakes. It is the next night. We've got all the bleeders closed as accurately instructed to by Senor Dave. We're going to go ahead and start with just kind of pumping the fluid through the system because it's bone-ass dry. Like, there is no fluid in this car right now. So he's going to start cycling. I'm going to watch the reservoir, make sure we got plenty, and then we'll start bleeding furthest all the way to the closest.
In the aim.
Don't do it vertical.
Do a vertical?
Don't do it vertical. Vertical don't do it no good.
We can't put no.
Yeah, we're filming.
Okay, so it bled great. Right now we're just putting the street tires on. So with I think it's probably about a 15 mil spacer. Streets clear the front brakes, which is bitching. So that is semi-tight, kind of mocked on. What do we think?
Mocked.
So as you can see here, the car's doing a hella bitchin' reverse wheelie, which is actually what all-wheel drive cars do whenever they launch super hard. Raiden's over. Raiden's putting on the wheel here. We got the level sensor attached on the bottom. That was the one leftover Adam from down here. But elsewise, it's getting to look pretty mean. So we got one more wheel and 2 jack stands, and this thing's going to be on its own weight for the first time in a while. And with that, car is on the ground. It's on its own weight. Wheels are torqued. Things should be good. The only thing that we're really not vibing with is the fact that your boy Tanner set that monster truck ride height in the rear. But higher is better than too low. We got a little bit of a rake, so it's definitely got a forward lean to it. But elsewise, everything is good. Raiden's going to move the Samurai out the way, and then we're going to take this thing for a test drive.
Really? Did it change? It must have changed. Or maybe it didn't, I'm just an idiot.
Oh no! We suck again!
It's going straight to the floor?
Yeah. We have very little brakes. All All right, so we're pulling the wheels off so we can double check the bleed on the rears. Pedal went straight to the floor, so we gotta figure something out. We got an issue. Okay, we have bad news. So we have attempted traditional bleeds. We then did a engine on bleed for the brakes, of course. That was failing. We were getting 0 pedals. So it came out of the garage. You guys saw that. And then I was able to pump it up to get it to actually stop. We then called a friend who sent us a power bleeder that pulled from the caliper, not from pushing from the cap. No dice. Didn't do us any good. Yes, we pulsed the ABS module. Yes, we did all that fun stuff, and we've still got no pedal. So it's one of two things. It's either we're not using the right bleeder, or we've got a leak somewhere. And I think if we would have had a leak somewhere, we'd have seen it by now. So unfortunately, we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to order the right part. It'll be here day after tomorrow. So we're going to enjoy our Saturday. We'll come back Sunday and see what we can do to get this thing wrapped up. Hopefully on Sunday it drives, but unfortunately we're not going to make the dyno this weekend. There's an alternate dyno day. I'm going to beg and plead to see if we can get in, and that'll be a part of either this episode or next episode. We'll have to see. All right, thanks. Hey guys, so we're out here at the dyno day. So obviously the car is in here, but it's exciting to see some really rad cars and do some dyno testing and see how other people are running, and also what some of my competitors will be, hopefully. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that we're seeing around, especially in the TAB class, which is what I should be running for that kind of stuff. So here's a look. These cars on deck, and I just counted 15 Japanese cars here at the dyno, and it's pretty obvious that there is one common country when it comes to TA. So we're excited. It'll be kind of rare, I suppose, to see an Audi or at least a German car kicking around that isn't a BMW E33 or something like that, you know, a common track car, right? So I'm excited. As long as my shit doesn't break, then maybe I can give us a good name. So I'm trying to fight the good fight. Gonna highlight the only non-Japanese car, right? It's really nice Focus. He's got it nice and gutted. I mean, back seat's all cleaned up. He's got a nice strut chase bar there. It's pretty nice. That's me. Hey guys, welcome back. So the tools have arrived. We're ready to attempt a pressure bleed to see if we can get these brakes to work. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the dyno, and let me show you how this is coming along. Here is our pressure bleeder. So this came in fresh off the Amazon presses. It's a super nice little pressure bleeder. All the manuals and stuff were in German, so we'll have to assume that it probably come from Germany. In addition, also picked up some more brake fluid. I picked up some cheaper brake fluid because I have no idea how long it's going to take to get this thing bled, but I don't want to have to waste really expensive brake fluid to do it. Now, the good news is that we're already at 40 PSI, which means that this brake system is holding 40 PSI and it has not started leaking, right? If we had massive leaks, we would see that on the gauge. We would know that something is awry, but so far so good. I'm not seeing anything too bad. The goal now is to do a quick bleed just to make sure that we double check and make sure everything is as good as it can be before we pulse the ABS module, and then we will come back, pulse the ABS module, try to get some air out, and then we go from there. First bleed went okay. We got through all 4 corners, did not pulse the ABS module, and didn't see as many bubbles as we wanted to. We did lose about 3 or 4 PSI, maybe even 6 PSI roughly. But we didn't see the bubbles that we need to feel for the amount of sponginess we've got in this pedal. So the plan now is we're going to go ahead and turn the car on, get into OBD11 and start pulsing the ABS module, try to loosen up some of those bubbles in there, and hopefully get it cleared out. Pressure bleed V2 is done. We got less bubbles than I wanted to see. So that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect the pressure bleeder, jump in the car and see how it feels. So no dice, something is weird. We should not obviously be able to go all the way to the floor with our brake pedal. We can build pressure, but something is weird. So the question mark is what? So watch me try to figure this out. So we have a willing volunteer tonight to the pressure bleed.
Willing?
A partially willing volunteer.
Someone that wants to eat dinner earlier than 10 o'clock at night.
So she's getting her strokes in. Hi, me again. Significantly more relaxed, mostly because I don't have to handle the pump. But the good news is staring at the ceiling last night, thinking of all the reasons why this car wouldn't bleed, led me to have a moment of reflection and realization of my humanity, even, and how smart I can be, and more importantly, cannot be. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see beautiful Aston Martin brakes, open bleeder. Right, the bleeder that we've been using. Now, I realized last night while Googling replacement bleeder nipples, hey, what if I ordered a spare set? And all of a sudden I Google it and it pops up with, you guessed it, 2 bleeders per caliper. That, my friends, is a second bleeder, to which I did not understand was there. So if you're asking yourself, wow, Tanner, were you only bleeding half of the bleeders on each of the front calipers? I would say yes. And then I would facepalm a bit like this. Welcome back. Now we're gonna fix this. So she's fixing the pump. We're gonna go ahead and bleed the second side and hopefully get rid of all the air. That's the goal, at least. See how it goes. In a shocking turn of events, bleeding the inside screws on both the inside and the outside for both left and right, and then redoing the rears after I went and drove it last night, shook all the bubbles loose. Pedal's great. So. Probably didn't need to miss the dyno. Probably should have just realized where the secondary bleed screws were, and then we would have been there. But not to worry. The good news is that this car is now bled. Everything is done. I think, honestly, this is a good place to wrap up the episode. This has been a super long episode getting all this stuff put together. Next episode, though, you can, and I promise definitively, expect to do the dyno episode. So next episode will be dyno, and also we're going to throw some wheel studs in the car to make it easier to attach to the dyno and do some race car part stuff. And that is the last of the things that we had on the list that were crucial and or critical to let the car kind of go. So at this point, really, once we get done with the dyno and we get the wheel studs done, the only thing we get to look forward to is alignment, kind of dialing in exactly what we're going to do for numbers, both camber, caster, and, well, I can't adjust caster, but camber and in tow and all that other fun stuff. So looking forward for next episode. If you guys liked it, of course, you can like and subscribe to the Low Altitude Motorsports YouTube channel. Over here is where you can watch the last episode as well as the playlist with all the other episodes. I appreciate y'all's patience, and I'm excited for the next episode. Like I said, subscribe if you want to see the dyno. See ya!